Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper. I'm located in Oregon in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you showing up. Makes the live so much better when there's actually people. And you're not just talking to yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can get the comments to work. Or maybe even the internet, because that would be really sweet. Okay, let's see what we got here. I don't know if my internet's working. Oh, there it goes. Good grief. You guys, we've been having some internet issues. We had quite a bit over the weekend. So hopefully I can get this to work and it'll show me the live so I can see comments. Or, okay, maybe I'll have to go the other way. Let's go here. Nope. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Maybe I can see it now. Maybe so. Maybe so. Here we go. And there we go. Yay. Okay. Hi, Tracy, Jennifer, Cynthia. Thanks so. Oh, and Laura. Thanks so much for joining me. Oh, you guys. I just got my brand new catalog all tabbed out. Spent a little more time looking at it. Anyway, let's get that out of the way. That will go live to customers on May 5th. Tonight, what we're doing is all about... I thought we would make some cards using some of the products from the last chance category list. In case there was something that you weren't sure that you wanted, you hadn't gotten. And then some things that I think no matter what you should have. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive right in. This first card that we're going to do is a fun fold card. And I've altered it from probably what you've seen on the internet because I didn't like the way it was. I thought it was made a little odd. So I've altered the dimensions a bit. It's a double gatefold, but I don't know whatever else they call it. Anyway, we're going to be using the Swirled Designs bundle. And these just went on the last chance list. And I did not give you the bundle number. Well, there is a bundle number, but you won't want to use that, because it's less expensive to purchase them separately. The stamp set is full price, but the dies are at a discount for $22.40. And when you combine these, that comes at just a little bit, like, I don't know, it's like $1 less than the bundle would be. So there's that. And then here's the wonderful thoughts. You guys know I love this stamp set and die set. It's the only one that we have that has the sentiments and then dies to cut out all those sentiments. And I really like this set. So these have been marked down to $22.50 from $25. And the dies are half price at $17. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. And then the other two things that we're going to be using perennial postage. This is not on the last chance list. This is still current product. Good to go. And then we're going to be using the beautiful bouquet paper. And this is marked down in the last chance to $11.25. So I've been using this quite a bit lately, actually. So that's what we're using for product. And we're going to start with a piece of white willow. Hang on. All of a sudden I got a frog in my throat. Let me see if some water will clear that up. It's probably the cinnamon in my chai tea. So we've got this piece, and this is 5.5 by 11. And again, I'm using white willow. And I'm doing that for a very good reason, because this card gets thick. And the white willow is thinner than even our basic white. So that's why I want this to be thin. Okay, so we're going to score this, and I hope I'm going to remember this good. 1 3/4 and 3.5. And we're going to do that on both ends. 1 3/4 and 3.5. And of course, that's on the long side. Okay, and that's going to give us sort of our card base, but not really. Okay, so then we're going to fold in and then fold back, fold in, fold back. Okay, be careful when you score the white willow that you don't score it too deep. Okay, so we've got that, and this is how this is going to work. Then I'm going to bring in a piece. We've got 2 pieces of Azure Afternoon cardstock, regular cardstock, and these are both cut at 4 1/4 by 5.5. And this is going to be the card base, basically. So I'm going to take and put some glue, seal, on this back piece right here, like that. You could use whatever your adhesive, your preferred adhesive is. And we're just gonna center that up like that. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and add this piece on top. But what we're going to do is we're going to add it to this section here, not this section. So let's open this up. Let's get our stamp and seal. I'm going to put my seal on the willow white. Okay. And then I'm just going to lay this down and line those edges up like so, and give that a good press. And this now is our card base. Okay, so now all we have to do is decorate. So I'm going to go over those measurements again. Your white willow piece is 5.5 by 11. You score on each end at 1 3/4 and 3.5, and then do an accordion fold. And then your 2 Azure Afternoon pieces are 4 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and start decorating. So I've pulled a piece. Oops, did I forget to cut that? Apparently I did. Okay, so I've got a piece of the beautiful bouquet paper, and I've cut this with the perennial postage die, and that's the second biggest die. But what I forgot to do is cut a piece of white willow with the largest of the perennial postage dies. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to cut this because it's too big to go. Whoop, there went my scoring tool. I thought I cut this, but apparently I did not. Let me pick up my scoring tool, which I slid out of its little spot there. And I'm going to grab the, I'll be right back. I'm going to go cut this real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Just going to run that through my machine really fast. And then we'll have it. Okay, so here we have our piece now. Okay, and again, I'm using the white willow because I want, there's a lot of layers and I want this not to be too thick. Okay, so this is the largest of the perennial postage and this is the second largest. And these are going to go like this, but we're going to do some stamping on this first. So let's get some Azure Afternoon and Berry Burst ink. I'm going to take the stars from, I got kind of a mess here. Already kind of a mess. Taking these little stars from the Swirled Designs right here, that stamp set. Okay, so I'm just going to take those. And I'm just going to stamp randomly. No rhyme or reason. And then I'm going to clean this. With my Simply Chamois. And then I'm going to go to Berry Burst. And I'm going to add in a couple more. Okay. And then I'm going to clean this so this doesn't stain so badly. Those heavy pigmented red colors, if you clean right away, they don't stain as badly. They still stain, but they don't stain as badly. Okay, so now this is ready to go on our card, or on our piece here. So we are going to go ahead and add this with some seal. Just line that up. And then we can add this to the front of our card. Okay. I'm going to build this card. Get this stamping done. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we need to work on this section here. And this is where I differ from where other people did it, because the way they did it was they left this piece this size, and this is only 5 1/4. So when you set it, it doesn't touch the ground, and if it does, then it flips forward. I didn't like that. So I changed those measurements, and we're going to take a piece of white willow again, and this piece is cut to 1 1/3. 1 3/4. 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. It's the full width of this plus a little bit longer. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this on like this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And again, because I'm covering this whole piece here, I'm going to put my adhesive right on this piece because this piece is going to be a little bit longer. And then I'm going to try real hard to put this to where it's going to line right up with the bottom there. And we need to get that right on that fold. Which I did not. I need to move that over. Hang on. Hang on. I did not press it down. So I'm going to put this just like that. Okay, and then when I put that in there, everything should line right up. Okay, it looks like I'm a hair longer here. So that's an easy fix, because I don't want that sticking out the top. So I'm just going to take that and that's not going to work. It worked before. Oh yeah, because I can go like this. Yep, there we go. Nope, I can't. Never mind. I don't know how I did that before. I need to take this off. Just a hair. Right across the top. There we go. Okay, now I'm not sticking out the top. I'm happier about that. Okay, so now we have this. Let's go ahead and add our pieces to this. We've got a piece of Azure Afternoon cardstock, and this is cut at 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then I've got a piece of that bokeh paper, the beautiful bokeh. It's from the same sheet. You can get everything you need from this one sheet. And then this piece is 1.5 by 5 1/4. We're going to put that on there, but before we do, we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here again. We're going to take those stars again. And this time we're sticking to the Azure Afternoon, but we need a little bit of scrap paper here. Ooh, I just got a hitch in my neck. Okay. So we're just going to go kind of like this, and this, and that. Okay. While we've got this ink out, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And for that, we just have a scrap piece of basic white. And from Wonderful Thoughts, we're taking the sentiment that says, you can do amazing things. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. That's not very dark. I might need to re-ink this stamp set, or this stamp pad. Okay, that's better. All right, so we've got that. So that's all of the stamping out of the way. So now we're going to add this to this piece here. All right, I should see if there's any. I'm thinking that my comments are not updating on their own, and I might have to refresh my screen. Okay, so now we've got those pieces. Let me refresh my screen and see if I'm missing comments. Oh, yes, we are. Hello, Cher. Yeah, see, I didn't see Cher had come on. All right, so let's go ahead and add this now to this piece. Okay, if you have that trouble with your seal, grab your silicone mat and just give that a quick little roll on your mat, and that will take care of it. Okay, now I'm going to put this like this, and then we're going to put this on here. Okay. And then for the inside of my card, I took and used a piece of the Coordinating Berry Burst bouquet paper, stamped the stars again, and we're going to put this in. This is a 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 inch piece of cardstock. Okay, so now the inside, the outside. Let's go ahead and grab the rest of our pieces. So I took some shimmer paper that I had, white shimmer paper. I don't know that I don't think we have any in the current catalog. That's okay. If you don't have any in stock, in your stash, go ahead and just use white and put some Wink of Stella on there. You'll get almost the exact same effect. Then I also took with the dies, I cut this out of glimmer paper. I cut 3 of these out of glimmer paper and out of the Berry Burst bokeh paper. And then I cut one of these with the shimmer paper and 2 with the Berry Burst bokeh. We're not going to need all of those, but I didn't want to run out, so that's what we're going to use. Okay? So we're going to start with this one. And I'm going to add this one onto my paper. Now, should you maybe use some adhesive sheets? You could. I didn't. I'm just going to put some little dots with my fine tip Tombow glue thing here that I was gifted. And then I'm going to, where did my sample card go? Yeah. I'm going to put this here like this. And then I'm going to just put a block on there. Okay. And then we're going to take one of these little white ones here. And just some tiny little dots of glue. It's Tombow, you don't need a lot. And let's put that away so it doesn't get lost. Okay, I'm going to put this down here like this. Grab me another block. And then we're going to add, let's see, I think I pre-did one of these. Hang on, let's get these out of here. Okay, so I took one of the little white stars and one of the little Berry Burst that was just a size down, and I've already glued that together. So then I'm going to take this, add some glue on the back, and I'm going to put this over here like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take one of these bigger ones. Uh-oh, did I lose one of my little... Yep, I need a smaller star. Oh, no, I already did it. I took one of those, the smaller, this one's from the center here. I took one of those, stuck the smallest of the little stars from that trio of star die in the center of that with a little bit of glue. And then, oops. Well, apparently it knows where it wants to go, so let's just put it there. Then I've got that. Okay. And then finally, we're going to take the biggest glitter outline. And I'm going to stick this in the center here, like that. And then I'm going to take one of these little bokeh stars, the large ones, in the Berry Burst. And I'm going to set that down in the center because, whoops, this largest star of the trio also is the same size as the star that goes in here. Okay. So we've got that. And then we're going to need to cut out our sentiment, but we've got to add some more little stars. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to mix and match these. Okay. So we're going to take the bokeh outline, berry burst, and I'm going to put this up here so it looks like it's coming at the end of those stars. Okay. And then I'm going to take the white star, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. And I know it looks a little fiddly, but it's so worth it. And it really doesn't take that much effort. And of course, if you use the adhesive sheets, and it might be easier. I always struggle getting the adhesive sheets off of these tiny little things. I have better luck with the tumble glue. Okay. So now for these ones, oh, there it is. It tried to run away. For these now, I'm just going to take and put my glue right here in the center like this. I'm going to drop my star center in there. Drop the star center in there. And finally, we'll drop the star center in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my empty block to make sure that's done. Let's go ahead and cut out our sentiment. So let's bring in our mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Grab our plates and the Wonderful Thoughts dies. And we're going to grab this one. You Can Do Amazing Things, I believe, is this one right? Oh, no, it's this one right here. Okay. So let's set this off to the side for just a second while we get this lined up. So that's going to fit right around that sentiment. Just like that. And then to ensure it doesn't move, put a piece of tape over that. Removable tape, of course. And then we'll just roll that on through. And now we have a perfectly cut sentiment. Okay. So we're going to take and add this with dimensionals. I'm going to take my mini dimensionals. Oh, look, I almost cut it out perfectly on the back, too. That's pretty amazing. Okay, I'm just going to take some side piece edges here Actually, I didn't need all those. Let me do this. And then we'll just put... I was thinking of a different sentiment that I couldn't make anything work on earlier. This is not that sentiment. This one will actually hold 2 full regulars. But it's okay, I had the minis on hand and there we are. So now we're just going to take this. And I'm going to put this right... Yep, I'm going to put this right here. Okay. And there you have it. There you go. There's our fun fold. And then we have our envelope. And for our envelope, I've used, I know it's a shocker. You didn't see it coming. Addressed to you. I've used this piece, and then I used the stars from the Swirled Designs. Okay, so now we've got that. And that's our first card for this evening. I hope you like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my screen again. And see if there's any comments I've missed. I don't know why Facebook isn't automatic. Oh, I see hearts coming. Thanks, guys. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. I'm glad you guys like that card. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll set this one aside. And let's move on to card number 2. Okay. I'll pick up pieces I've dropped. Again, with card number 2, we're using the Swirled Designs. Oh, no, we are not. What am I thinking? Never mind. That was psych. Let me show you the second card I made. We're not making this one. I just wanted to show you I was playing with the Swirled Designs. And so with this card, I used the diamonds from the Swirled Designs. These little flowers are from the Swirled Designs dies. Consider Yourself Hugged, that comes from Banner Sayings, another sentiment set you shouldn't be without. And then this floral piece, that's one that I just had laying around in my Gallery Blooms stamp case. This is on the last chance list too. And see, I just have these laying around and I thought, well, what can I do with that and those diamonds? And so I pulled this card together. This paper is from the Square Snippets, also on the last chance list. And we're going to use that on our next card. That's this one. Okay. And then this pink here is the Bubble Bath. And this is from the 12 by 12 Pastel Shimmer 12 by 12 specialty paper. This is not in the last chance list, but I hadn't used it. And it looked so pretty with this card. So there is that card, also using the Swirled Designs. Just me playing around with pieces I had laying around. Okay. And then there's my envelope. I'm glad that you use addressed to you all the time too, Tracy. It sure makes your envelopes a whole lot easier. Okay, so there's the second card that I just wanted to show you with Swirled Designs. I wanted to show how you can use those diamonds together. All right, let me straighten these out real quick. Get these dies put away so they don't come up missing real quick. I thought I lost a die the other day because I couldn't find it. and then it showed up. So I'm a little bit paranoid about it right now. Okay, so for this card, whoa, I'm dropping things. Not going good here. Okay, why am I having so much trouble? Get on there. Thank you. Okay. So for this one, we're going to be using lots of things. We're going to be using the Pop-Up Petals bundle, and we're using this image right here, just this floral, which you could use any floral image that you have that's roughly this size. I mean, you could even use this one. The Gallery Blooms ones were a little bit big. And then Joyful Squares, both of these, the stamp set and the dies are on the last chance list. I can't tell you if it's cheaper to buy them separate or apart because I didn't look. And then from Coneflower Celebrations, two is on the last chance list. We're going to be using this image and the sentiment Celebrating You. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this one. So this one we have a thick basic white cardstock for the base. And that's 5.5 by 8.5. And I've pre-scored it in the middle at 4 1/4, standard A2. Okay. And then for the inside, I've taken a piece that's 3 5/8 by 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. I've taken a 1/2 inch piece of one of the 4-inch squares from Square Snippets, because this one has 4-inch squares and 3-inch squares. So I took a 4-inch square and cut a 1/2 inch for my inside here. And then I colored my little floral. This sentiment here is from a retired set. I totally encourage you to go back and look what's in your stash. Find something that fits your outside sentiment and pull that back out and use it. Okay. Now, we've got this square, which I cut with the dies from Joyful Squares. I cut this in basic white, and it's cut with this larger square here. Now, do you necessarily need this square? Nope, you don't. This is a 2 3/4 inch square. So 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. If you don't have this set, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, then I have 3 pieces of the Square Snippets paper. One in Peach Pie, one in Strawberry Slush, and one in Secret Sea. Now all of these have a faint little pattern on them. This one has some florals. This one just has some broken lines. And this one has some diagonal stripes. Okay, so we're going to use all of those on our card. And we're going to start with our stamping. So we're going to go ahead and take this splatter from the Coneflower Celebrations, which you could look for any splatter that you might already have on hand. It doesn't have to be from Coneflower Celebrations, but I was already pulling the Celebrating You from there, and it is on the last chance list. So I thought, well, I'm going to use it and bring that to your attention. Okay, Coneflower Celebrations does have matching dies, but I'm not using those tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to take that splatter and some Secret Sea, and I'm going to put it in the upper right and lower left corners. And then while we're here, we're going to take a scrap piece of white, which I don't know if I pulled that or not. Let's just pull a scrap piece of white. And we're going to take Celebrating You And we're gonna stamp that in Secret C. And then we're gonna take the 3 banner punch. You guys, that looks like it's been on the die cut machine and it's all rough and yucky looking. Let's switch that out. Let's do that again. I didn't like the way that looked. So let's grab that Secret C again. And then I did a poor job stamping. Okay, now let's hope I didn't get too far over. Whoop. Okay, and then we're just going to take that, center it up, and give that a punch. And there is our sentiment. All right. So we've got that. Set that aside. And then we're going to bring in our 2 3/4 inch square. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Positioner tool. This is going to be available to customers beginning May 5th. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I've already, we're using the stamp from Joyful Squares. We're using this one right here. Put this back. And I'm going to take this 2 3/4 inch square. I'm going to put it in the stamp positioning tool where the little corner is here. I've got this sticky mat on here, so I'm going to leave that so that this sticks nice. And I'm just going to put that up there on my paper. Put my magnet up here. Put my other magnet right there. Okay. And then what I want to do with this is I want to take my stamp and I want to line this up like so. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to put my plate on, give that a gentle push, let it release. Okay, and my stamp's stuck. So I'm just going to reposition this, and I know right where it needs to go because I put it right in the corner. You've got that corner guide plus these 2 little pegs right here. 1 and 2 are flat on the sides so that you can nestle your paper right up to those. Okay? So now we've got this. Let's go ahead and ink this up in Strawberry Slush. Okay, and then I'm going to push that down. All right. And then I'm going to rotate my paper 180 degrees. Put that square back on those pegs. And put these back on. And then I'm going to ink this back up. Now, this is designed so that you can do it this way. I'm going to tell you, this is not how I did it because it overlapped a little and I didn't like that. So I repositioned the stamp myself so that I didn't have that overlapping because that's just how I liked it. Okay? So this is what it looks like when you do it right on the square and you just turn it, quick and easy, but you get just a tiny bit of overlap there, all right? So, when I did mine, and I've already done it, so you're not going to have to really, we're just going to stamp this. I took this, inked it up, stamped it down, okay, stamp it, and then I cleaned it, okay, let's clean it up. Make sure it's dry. Flip your paper down 180 degrees. Take your stamp. As long as it's dry, you don't have to worry about it. Then put this on here like this. Take a good look at it. Make sure your center's nice and rounded. Okay. Let's put our second little thing on. This is only if you're particular. If you're not particular, just do it how it's meant to be. But it just does, ooh, it just goes to show you how easy it is to line things up with the stamp positioner. You can lay your stamp right down there, line it up, then pick it up, and now we don't have all the overlapping, okay? All right, so there we go. Now, let's get this out of the way. I'm not sure what I did with that piece. It's got to be right here. Okay, hang on. Okay, well, we'll just put this down. I'll find that piece later. It's a piece of plastic and it has a little, yeah. I'm going to put these in my magnet sheet because I don't want those to get lost because those disappeared on me. Yes, one of those did. All right, so we've got that now. Okay, so let's move on. Now we need to take some Memento Tuxedo Black and a piece of white cardstock. Which, interesting. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Then we're going to take the flower from Pop-Up Petals. And you need 3 for the front. And then you would stamp 1 more if you want one on the inside. Okay? Now, we probably should have stamped those first so that that memento had time to dry. But I didn't. So I want to make sure that my ink doesn't run. I'm only going to color one of these for you, but I am going to show you the colors that I used because I've already got these colored and they're ready to go. Okay. And why do we have all these in the wrong sections? I don't know. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the peach pie, and you need 2 of these for the front. So I'm gonna take my light Timid Tiger, and I'm gonna color in some of these sections that I think would look nice with a little bit of dark. Okay. And then I'm gonna move to my peach pie dark. And I'm going to pick some more. And there really is no rhyme or reason. It's whatever you think. And then we're going to finish it up with Peach Pie Light. And I'm just going to fill in the rest of that. Just going to go over everything, which will pretty much blend it. Okay. For the leaves, I wanted them to look garden green. So I'm taking my light shaded spruce. And I'm going to do the leaf. I'm not going to do them all, I'm just going to show you one. And then I'm going to take the light mossy meadow. And I'm going to go over the top of that. And that's going to give me pretty close to garden green. Okay, so now I would do this one in the Peach Pie Timid Tiger combo. This one I'm using light strawberry slush. I'm just going to do the flower part. And again, I'm just going to pick out some spots where I think dark would look nice. Okay, and then do the dark flirty flamingo. And then light flirty flamingo to finish it off. Okay, and I actually did 2 peach pie and 2 flirty flamingo because 1 flirty flamingo's on the inside. Okay, I did the leaves the same way. Then I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to our rose top there. All right, we'll get the coordinating die from the pop-up petals and we'll cut those out. And through the magic of television or video, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting our card together. We're going to start with the Secret C square and our stamped square here. Okay, I'm going to add, nope, no. I'm not going to add that yet. I'm going to take my 2 peach pie and my 1 flirty flamingo, and I've already pre-cut these, but I wanted to be able to layer these. So I'm going to go in with my snips here, and I'm just going to snip out this little white area right by this leaf and at the top of that flower. Okay, and that's just going to separate those two. If you get this little snippy piece that you don't like, cut that out. Okay, so the idea here is that my strawberry slush and flirty flamingo rose will go here. And then, wait a minute, I'm getting carried away here because I want these to have a little bit, oh, wait a minute, I did this too. I'm just going to snip these. I forgot to do that. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I want these leaves to be free. So that I can tuck things. So I just take, when there's a die like this, most of the work's done for me. So then I just need to go back in and just do some real little snips. Okay, and that's going to free that up and make it look a little more real. And because I want to tuck things in, I can now do so. it'll make my leaves look a little more realistic. And then I can give the petals. Now I need to be careful that I don't rip those leaves off. Although, actually, in all actuality, I'm going to take this leaf, I'm going to cut this one off of there. And then on this one, I'm going to cut the opposite side. So I'm just going to cut that off just like that. Okay? And I'm going to take this in a bit. Okay, give that a little bit. All right, so we've got that, got this. Now we're going to take this and we're going to go like this. And you guys, I didn't get that cut quite right, so you know I'm not going to be happy with that much white showing. So I'm going to just, this is how you fix your die cuts, especially after you've spent all the time coloring them. Okay, so we're just going to do this. We'll put that in there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and I want this one to be all the way at the bottom. Okay, but I also want this one to look like it's connected to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this off. I don't need this stem. All right, so that's gone. Then we're going to take this one and do this. All right, so I'm going to lay these down. I'm going to hold on to these with my reverse tweezers from my embossing tool kit. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals. This one I'm going to glue flat. This one I want popped up. Okay. This one I want popped up a little, but not quite as much as that. So what am I going to do? I'm pretty sure you know if you've been following me for any length of time. We're going to stack some glue dots. And then I'm going to stick those in the center. That's going to give that some height. We're going to put some glue on this one. And then to keep these all together, I'm going to take some tear and tape. Okay. And I'm just going to lay this down here across here. Make sure it touches all of those pieces. Then I'm going to lift up my tear and tape. All right. Take just a little bit of glue here and here. And then we're going to put this right down here like this. Lift that up. Oh no. Guess what? We forgot to take the backing off. That's okay. We got it. Now I'm going to take this piece right here. And I'm going to round this just a little bit. Like so. And then I'm going to take just the tiniest bit of glue, put it right there, give that a little push down for a second, and then I'm going to secure this with a little tiny bit of liquid glue, push that down, and now our piece is easily secured just how we want it. Okay? Not too hard, huh? Now let's go ahead and add this piece to our secret C piece. We'll center that up. I'm going to take these, flip them over, put some seal on the back of them, and they're ready to go. Move all of these over. Get this out of our way. Bring in our card base. And when I did this, I put this down on my mat. I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch down and a 1/4 inch in from the left corner here. And I say about because I'm not using a ruler to really measure. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. But this time, I'm going to turn this upside down because it was easier for me to do it this way. And I'm going to go 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. Again. Turn that around. And then we're going to add this. Some liquid glue. And put that right here, like so. Okay. And then we're going to take our sentiment, grab some dimensionals. What did I do with the regulars? Oh, I moved. Oh, you guys, sorry. I hit the camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I don't like a saggy middle. Then I'm going to take this, put it right down here like this. And we'll add our inside piece. Grab our gems. Okay, didn't look quite right there, but I guess it is. Okay, so now we've got the inside, got this, and the last thing to do is to add the gems. So for those, I've taken both the 24 to 26 in color flat dots, flat pearls, and the 25 to 27 flat pearls. We're going to grab both of those, because I wanted to mix my colors. So we're going to take 2 of the peach pie. Start with those. I'm going to take a peach pie and put here. That glue dot doesn't look quite right there, you guys. When you know it. Okay, there we go. It's back on the dot properly. Okay, so let's put that there, and I did not press it down hard so that I could move it if I want to. So I've got a large and a medium in the peach pie, and then I'm going to take a small of the strawberry slush, and I'm going to put that right up here. Okay, and there is our card. Okay, so let's grab the envelope, because you know I used addressed to you. And there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to refresh because I'm pretty sure I've missed a bunch. And I don't know. Tracy White, SU does not have a garden green blend. Thank you for looking. Joyful Squares is cheaper as a bundle. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed those cards tonight. And I will be back on Thursday with a YouTube Live. All right. See you at 7 o'clock on YouTube. Otherwise, I don't know about next week because Tuesday's kind of a special day and I don't know what my plans are yet. So I'll let you know. Check Facebook. I'll be here at 7 unless I post that I'm not. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great night and thank you so much.